Hello, and welcome to Today in History, December the 15th. I'm Michael Powell. Yesterday, we spoke about the finding of Saddam Hussein during the Iraqi War. Today, we're going to discuss the end of the Iraqi War. In a ceremony held in Baghdad on December 15th of 2011, the war that began in 2003 with American-led invasion of Iraq officially came to an end. Though that day was the official date of the Iraq war violence, it continued and in fact worsened over the subsequent years. The withdrawal of American troops was a priority of President Barack Obama. But by the time he left office, the United States would again be conducting military operations in Iraq. 5 days after the 9/11 attacks, President George W. Bush announced a war on terror. This was a term for a series of preemptive military strikes that were meant to reduce the threat of terrorism toward the American homeland. The first one of those strikes was the invasion of Afghanistan in October of 2001, which began a war that continued for 2 decades. The government of the U.S. and the United Kingdom were resolute in their public assertions that Saddam Hussein posed a threat to their homelands, and thus they got into the military conflict. The invasion was an immediate success insofar as the coalition had toppled Hussein's government and occupied most of Iraq by mid-April. American expectations that Iraqi would greet them as liberators and quickly form a stable democracy proved very unrealistic. Though the coalition didn't install a new government right away, it eventually did, and it took office in 2006. But it never came close to pacifying the country. Guerrilla attacks, suicide bombings, and improvised explosive devices continued to take the lives of soldiers and civilians on both sides of the Sunni-Shia divide. The American public remained skeptical of the war, and many were horrified at the reports of the atrocities carried out by the military and the CIA. Leaked photos proved that the Americans had committed human rights abuses. This was at the Abu Ghraib prison, and in 2007, American military contractors killed 17 civilians in Baghdad. Opposition to the war became an important talking point in Obama's bid for presidency. On New Year's Day of 2009, shortly before Obama took office, the U.S. handed control of the Green Zone, the Baghdad district that served as a coalition headquarters, over to the Iraqi government. And Congress formally ended its authorization for the war in November, and the last combat troops left the following month. Even by the lowest estimates, the Iraqi war claimed over 100,000 lives. Other estimates suggest that the number is several times greater, with over 205,000 civilian deaths alone. And that's what happened on this day in history, the end of the Iraqi war. Join me again tomorrow, won't you? And if you like what you've seen, would you consider liking it, subscribing, and sharing it? I would appreciate it. Till then, have a good day. This was December 15th. Tomorrow, December 16th. We'll see what comes up then. Good day.